Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. I'm Melissa and this is Melissa Knits for Fun. And as you can see, I have a beautiful friend sitting next to me. This is Jackie. I want everybody to meet one of my favorite people on the entire planet.
Oh, you're too. No.
Yes.
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 Okay.
So Jackie is our oldest knitter here at the shop. And
I think the oldest one in New Bern. I mean, in Fayetteville.
maybe.
Yeah, anyway.
But she truly is my inspiration, not just with knitting, but also with living your best life and just going strong. I mean, you still drive,
Yep.
you knit. Guys, she knitted her daughter a sweater for Christmas. She's knitting herself a sweater now, and she's planning the yarn for the next sweater. So, my gosh, what is your secret?
My secret? Oh, I really think it's genes.
Okay.
I honestly do. My grandmother lived to be 100, just as short of 101, and wasn't senile. You know, she was blind, but and I think attitude, absolutely attitude. Um, don't make close friends of negative people because it will wear off on you.
I think that's great advice.
And that was advice I got from my mother-in-law, and it's pretty true. Negative people. Well, anyway, I my grandmother always said, and it's corny, but it's true. The glass is half full, and I like to think it's three-quarters full. So anyway,
Yes. And well, speaking of glasses, you have a glass sitting there next to you
Yes.
that is a very special glass.
yes, it is.
And it's called Jackie's China, is what we call it. So it's a plastic cup with the seal of the president, because you took a trip to D.C. last year,
Yes.
right? Or was it this year?
A year ago
Okay.
for at Christmas time, yeah. And my oldest grandson was an assistant to President Biden, and it was the last opportunity I would have to see parts of um, the East Wing, or the West Wing rather, that other people can't see um, in part of the White House. I think one of the most fun things was having lunch at the Navy Cafe there. That's really special, but it was a special time, man.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you just hopped on a plane
Oh yeah.
like it was no big deal.
Yeah. Well, I use a wheelchair, so that does get me through security pretty fast.
Yes.
And I won't go through Chicago anymore. But yeah. So,
So, over your 94 years, and I will tell you guys, this woman is always so well dressed. She is the fashionista that I look up to. I will never, I would say I would aspire to be, but we all know that I'm throwing sweats on with my sweaters and heading to the store. So that will probably never be me. But I see Jackie and I look at you, Jackie, and I think, what have you seen from knitting trends to fashion trends? What changes have you seen that have gone away and then come back, and maybe gone away and come back again?
I think what I see now, a lot of the 30s, the printed floral dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, my my mother was very attractive and very social, and um, I remember her Bakelite custom jewelry, which I wish I had kept because now it's worth a fortune. But I just was entranced with that. It changes. Oh, bathing suits, by far, by far, and the wide flared pants. Uh, and they're coming back, and I don't like them. I don't think they're becoming. I was in the fashion business for 20 something years, and with a company, it was a direct sales. Doncaster is no longer around. It was direct sales, so it was like trunk sales. But our styles were all very traditional, and that's what I was taught. That and color makes a huge difference. in how people look.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we went to New York, the managers, and we went to New York and to the fabric market, and were just appalled at how they were mixing cool colors with warm colors, which they're still doing, but I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, yeah, basically, the big wide shoulders. And can you see me in a beehive?
Oh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I can't believe I did that.
You should find a picture and send it to me, guys. If she finds a picture and sends me a
Oh,
picture of her with the beehive.
I've got a picture from the newspaper in Columbus, Ohio, when I had a um, um, charity lobster bake in my backyard for the Columbus Zoo. And here I am with all this hair.
You should send me that picture so that I can pop it up here and show everybody.
Okay, all right. Okay. So,
Oh, well, and guys, I know when Jackie says to me, "Oh my gosh, you did such a great job picking your colors for that sweater," I am on cloud nine because she, as I said, you were just always put together. You were, whoops, sorry about that. I kicked her under the table, guys. Wasn't really trying to, but,
no.
but you're always put together. You always have beautiful colors on. So do you think that everybody should have their colors done? You know, that's
Absolutely.
come back.
Absolutely. You know, I don't know whether this has nothing to do with knitting, but the color thing started really by a man out in California who did it for commercial for men's offices.
Okay.
And from that, and then it was Color Me Beautiful.
Yes.
And that's what I did. And that, yes, I think it's a great idea. And I think you should put your colors as much as you can around in your decorating in your house, because it makes, particularly in the winter, it makes a huge difference to how you feel. And so, anyway.
I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point.
Yeah, well, one thing they taught us with Color Me Beautiful, that men should never wear brown for a business interview. It's a negative. It's a negative. The avocado green shag rugs.
I remember
Yeah,
those.
oh yeah, and oranges. Not good, not good. But they've done a lot of research on it, and there's a lot to be said for it.
So
you have a great eye for color.
oh, thank you.
No, you really do. You have a wonderful eye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So circling back to knitting and the fact that you're knitting a sweater, I would love for you. She's got her sweater that she's knitting right now for herself beside her, and I'd love her to show it off because, guys,
Yeah.
it is just beautiful.
Well, again, going into color, here I am in one of my colors, and this is another. And this is so soft. And Melissa, you know, I don't know the names of all these yarns the way you do.
This is juniper moon, cotton, and merino.
Well,
I'm not sure the color, probably buttercup or something like
Yeah.
that, but
No, that's okay. Yeah. And there it is.
yeah, and that's the step-by-step sweater
Yes.
by Florence Miller,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yep.
which I recommend for all people. I have made sweaters through the years. You know, actually, you might be interested in. Well, I think you know, but how I learned to knit. My grandmother and my mother sewed, and I did needlework with them, but I never knitted with them. And then I went to boarding school in upstate New York. I was a little Central Florida girl, and our schooling wasn't great. And so the thing to do was to knit socks for your boyfriends, and that's how I learned to knit. And we did argyle socks and all kinds of things. And when I left home, my mother was going through my things, and she'd say, "Well, there's only one of sock, that one. There's only one of that." She just must have gotten rid of that boyfriend.
So did the socks carry the boyfriend curse, like, you know, the sweater curse that if you knit your boyfriend a sweater, you're going to break up. You need to wait until he's your husband first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
the sweater curse. So did the socks work the same way if you knitted your boyfriend's socks? Did
No,
you
but
wind up?
it happened with a couple of them. Yeah, but and they wore. I mean, I can't imagine the young men today. But when I was in college, I made a pair of socks that had a beer mug on the side with the fraternity emblem, and then white angora for the beer. Yeah, for the froth. And he loved them. I mean, they all, they loved wearing those crazy socks.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I had not. That is so awesome because I can picture you young, knitting
Yeah,
away,
yeah,
making the beer thing, being like, oh, if my mom saw this, she might not approve.
Oh no, my mother would definitely have approved.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I gave up knitting. I went with Pan American, and then I got married.
Now you were a flight attendant, right?
Yes, yeah, only we called them stewardesses. Yes, I mean
You
back.
have lived such a
Yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
life.
I was in the South American division, and with Pan Am, you had to speak a foreign language, Spanish, for there. And I was a platinum blonde with brown eyes, which was kind of an unusual combination.
Yes.
And I think it's the only reason they took me because my Spanish was terrible. and then my accent was just awful. But it was a great thing. It was great. Yeah.
So you gave up knitting while you were
Yeah.
being a stewardess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went back to it after I had children and knitted for the kids. And then kind of gave it up again. And then my husband and I showed Irish Wolfhounds. And we'd take a motorhome and go. And we were living in Arizona and going all over that area. And I started knitting again, and knitting for my grandchildren. So then I just then I moved to North Carolina, and I hadn't knitted in several years, and I lost one of my sons, and I was given a prayer shawl, and it meant so much to me that I thought I'm going to do this, and I started back knitting again, knitting prayer shawls, and then I came to Fayetteville after my husband died to be with my daughter and family, and joined St. Paul's prayer shawl, and because of St. Paul's, I learned about Letha, and so I didn't know anyone here. I'd gone through cancer, and at my age, you don't make friends easily. Well, knitters are just the most wonderful people. They really are. I mean, I rode horses and I loved horse people and I sailed. But knitters can be any age, like Haley,
Yep.
who's like my granddaughter, and I just can't say enough for not just how wonderful it is to be with knitters, but also the fact that at 94 my brain is not as sharp, obviously, and so it makes me use my brain. And I have a bad back, so I don't cook much anymore. So knitting, I feel, is also good for me.
Yep. Well, guys, she tells you she doesn't cook much, but when Henrietta had her hip replacement done, she made Henrietta food. We've got a friend, Melissa. There's 3 Melissas in our yarn community, and one of the other Melissas, she and her husband are sick, and what did you do?
I made soup. I made some really good vegetable soup yesterday. And then I had to go stretch out because of my back, but I love to cook.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. You truly are my inspiration. I'm like,
Oh.
this is my goal. I'm gonna, you are 94. My great aunt who lives in Little Rock. And sorry, my nose is like itchy. We got mohair or something floating around. My great aunt who lives in Little Rock, she's 95, and y'all are my inspiration. I'm like, I want to be as spry and as with it as y'all are. You both drive. Y'all both, you say, "Oh, my brain's not as sharp as it once was," and I'm sure that's probably true.
Yeah, well,
Mine's not as sharp
yeah,
as it
yeah.
was when I was in my
Yeah.
20s. But if I can be as sharp as you are when
Well,
I get to be 94, I will be just
oh,
praising God all day long.
I am sure you will. I am sure
You know.
you will.
Yeah, you were just,
And you know, the other thing is you like people.
yes, I do.
Yes, you do. You're caring, very caring. I mean, she's saying all these compliments about me, but truly, she's a loving, caring, wonderful friend, and I love you.
Y'all, I count my blessings every single day for when I walked in here because of all of the people I have met. And while I know that there will be a season coming where it's going to be very hard on my heart, that we do have, people like you and Henrietta and Jordan and all that are at the later stages
Yes,
of your life.
yes.
And it's going to be horrible when that time comes.
Well, I have a little piece of advice. Make young friends.
Yeah, well,
No, seriously.
I do have young
Yeah,
friends,
yeah,
but
no.
what I
I
was
know
going
what
to
you're
say
saying. I know
is
what you're saying.
I wouldn't trade one single second of the time that I've gotten to spend with you and get to know you
Yeah.
to save myself any heartbreak.
Well,
Because
yeah, it's a mutual admiration
Yes.
society. My crackly voice. So, yeah, and you've helped me, and you help everybody, and I've learned a lot from you. Um, and I look at what the work you do, and I'm just so impressed. Have you shown them the new one you're doing?
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I I know I would not be able to do that again. It's just too much, But I'm having fun making my sweaters, and the next one I make is one like Letha made, and I can't remember what's
Yep.
the combination of that.
mohair and merino.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that.
Yes, and it's her color too because she's going to use the poppy blue, the Knitting for Olive poppy blue, and the mohair and
Well,
merino
I've
together.
changed my mind.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did, because I've got a cashmere sweater that I forgot I had that's close to that color.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go back to the original one with the gray, a pretty gray.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
So there you go. See,
There
I
you go.
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
but
well, I just made up and I might change my mind by the time I finish this
Yeah.
yellow one.
Yeah.
So
I love the fact that you're like, yep, I am living my life and I am planning my next
I am.
sweater.
Well, I just keep going, do what I can do, and stay active. And I work out a couple of days a week.
It's better than me. I work out none.
Well, I don't do it heavy, but I do do the pressing, the weight pressing, and I do squats, and I ride the bike because I have neuropathy, and that affects my legs, and so I don't want to have to use a walker.
Right. Yeah.
So I hate it. I hate every minute of it. And my daughter just loves to. She and my son-in-law have a fancy gym set up in the garage, Pilates, or I don't know what it is. And no, thank you. So I don't know what else.
Well, if you could give my audience one piece of advice, both about let's say one piece of advice about knitting, and then one piece of advice about life overall, what would they be?
Oh my goodness. Well, regarding the knitting, I think it depends on what how advanced you are. I know I started out. I think the first one I made was a Sophie scarf.
Mhm.
It's still no, I did a cowl, but a Sophie scarf. I love it. I made it two more, one smaller ones, but they're fun to do. I try to keep one project going where I don't have to do counting. That I can, because I cannot do a pattern and watch TV like the
Right.
Razorbacks basketball. I gotta keep my eyes on the screen.
Huge fan
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Huge
Oh,
fan.
Yeah, all by myself. Nobody in my family likes basketball. I sit down in my living room with my dog, Charlie, and she's my roommate.
Yep.
And and then as far as and then go at whatever pace. I'm trying to go. get back to having more confidence in my
Mhm.
knitting. And so I think you just have to knit. And if it's doing scarves and stuff, it's still, I'll never wear a lot of scarves, but they're fun to make, so I make them. And what was the other thing you wanted?
Life overall, like if you could give them one piece of advice about life, like you've lived a long time, what have you learned that you're like, yeah, I wish I had known this when I was in my 20s?
Oh my gosh, it's a laundry list of that. I think we all have that. Uh, I think I'd say um, stay active and stay interested in what's going on in the world, and don't don't hide away from it. Um, I don't like what's going on today, but tomorrow's going to be better. And I guess all I can say is that you have to be positive, and love people and
Yeah.
do things. I was a member of the, and still am, of the junior league where I've lived, so I've done a lifetime of volunteer work. And if you can have time, I understand with the young people that they're working, that and and taking care of children. I fortunately was able to do the volunteer work, but it makes you feel so good, even if it's 1 hour a month or whatever. It'll just make you feel good if you can give back to your community.
All
That
right.
sounds holier than thou, but I don't mean it
No,
to be.
no, I know what you're saying. It is, when you give back, because I do this Jordan and I have conversations all the time about this because she's always saying, "Oh, you're so sweet to me. You're so sweet to me." I pick her up on Thursday nights and bring her everything. But I get a lot out of it too.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom's
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
When I can have these relationships and help y'all, I get a lot out of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way when you give back to your community.
Right.
You get something from it, probably as much or more than what you give.
Well, the one thing we haven't mentioned is my family, and I have a daughter that I live with and a son-in-law. Uh, and when I moved here, I was in my own house, and then I started having some heart issues. And fortunately, my daughter and son-in-law found a wonderful house with an apartment downstairs, and I have it's like it's just lovely, and so I'm very fortunate that I have a daughter who loves me very much and is so generous, and a son-in-law who uh, who sits and holds my hand when I'm in emergency rooms because my daughter can't stand the sight of blood. So, no, I count my blessings. Uh, I had 4 children. I've lost 3 of them, uh, and it's very tough. But nobody wants to hear you moan and groan and feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah,
So
well, I would say that it would
no,
be perfectly understandable. I cannot imagine losing 3 children.
wow.
And the fact that you still choose joy every day, it's an inspiration to
Well,
me.
I don't wake early.
Yes, yes, no, you don't.
No, no,
Don't text her before
but
about noon.
no, no. 11 o'clock you can do. Uh, no, no. It's tough. It's tough, but you get through it. You have
Yep.
to. I mean, as I said, nobody wants to be around somebody feeling sorry for themselves, because we all have problems. Everybody has problems.
Yep. Well, you can always tell me your problems if you ever need to.
Yeah, I know. I know. So
All right. Well, do you have any final words or anything you want to say?
no, not really. Other than I, I have. This is funny. I come here every Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
afternoon and every Friday afternoon, and sometimes we're busy and sometimes we're not. And of course, Leith is here, and she's just become like a daughter to me. And my daughter is so cute when she'll say, "Are you going to your club today?" And that's what I think it
Yep.
is here on Wednesdays and Fridays. It's our club,
Yes.
and sometimes we'll have what, Uh, well, like today, you and I, and other days we'll have 6, 8
Yep.
here.
Yep.
So, y'all out there, anybody that gets lonely and knits and wants to have fun and talk about things that are so interesting. It's such an interesting group of women. We're all from such a different backgrounds and professions, and I just sit here with my bad hearing and just listen to what these women have to say. Uh, so yeah, that's my life pretty much, and I'm thankful for it.
Well, we are thankful for you.
Yeah.
And so, guys, if you are ever in the Fayetteville area, Fayetteville, Arkansas area, or if you live around here, come and hang out here. We've got a great community. And if you don't live here and you're looking for community, try to find a local yarn shop that offers a knit night or just a sit and knit during the day and see if you can make a community there.
Yeah, I
All right.
agree. I agree. And checking churches for prayer shawls is a good way to start.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I don't think about that because I do work, and so I don't
Yeah.
get to do that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to when I'm retired,
Yes,
when
yeah.
I can join that. But yeah,
Well, it's like our friend, other friend Melissa, who came into St. Paul's one day and said, "I want to learn how to knit." And so she sat down next to me, and we started to teach her how to. We got some needles and thread, and then I get next day a call, "Jackie, I've got a hole, help me." Yeah. And this went on. Well, it turned out she showed dogs, I showed dogs. She showed horses, I showed horses. Our backgrounds are so similar, although we're more than 30 years apart. But she has now, what was that, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago when she started knitting?
yes,
Yeah. And now she's just doing really beautiful work. She still comes in and says either to Melissa or Henrietta or Letha, get me out of trouble.
Yeah.
but she tries and she does beautiful work.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
she does. So don't be scared to try something new,
No.
no matter what age you are, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And certain things, no.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You will find out you don't like everything.
No. But anyway, just keep busy and eat well. Older people don't eat well. And my daughter says all the time, "Mom, you don't eat enough protein. You've got to have the protein." And that's true. I probably don't. But I do. I cook.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law, at the age of 92, told a friend of mine who asked her, what did she attribute to her old age? And she said, "Always, hi,
There's Rip.
hi, Rip. Hi, sweetheart."
Let me see. Let me see if I can adjust
Let's
this
see.
down.
There's
Rip.
Rip. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
our mascot here.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is the shop dog.
And he does love to beg. But my mother-in-law said, "Always have 3 colors on your plate."
All right.
So I try and do that. I'm not always successful, but it makes sense. You've got green and yellow or white or orange or.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
All right.
okay. This has been fun.
It has been. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you
And-
for having me.
Of course. And guys, I hope that y'all have enjoyed spending this time with Jackie as much as I have. And I will see y'all later on this week for a regular episode. And everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you celebrate.
And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Bye everybody.